Before we start this video, I want to do a quick disclaimer. I am not a doctor. Everything I talk about in this video is what doctors have told me and what I've got off the internet from doing research. I do recommend you talk to your own doctor and also do your own research as well. Thank you. In February 2021, I was diagnosed with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, NAFLD. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is a term for build-up of fat on your liver cells. This is not caused by alcohol like traditional fatty liver disease. This is severely overweight, can be caused from diabetes, high cholesterol, but usually from being obese. 1 in 3 people in the UK have early stages of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and typically early stages don't have any symptoms. So the only way you find it early is if you're having a blood test or some sort of checkup for another reason. I was lucky to be able to find mine early. A lot of people, because they don't show symptoms until at a later stage, it's usually too late for it to be reversible. So in December, about a week before Christmas, I went to the doctors for my yearly blood test. Now, because I had gestational diabetes, every year I have to get a blood test in case it comes back as proper diabetes. And with my family history of having type 2 diabetes, I have to get regularly checked anyway. Then blood test came back with my liver enzymes being slightly elevated. Usually your liver enzymes are no higher than 49 and mine were at 62, which seems like a big gap, but typically that isn't anything new. 62 and that kind of area can be caused from paracetamol, having paracetamol recently, or having some over-the-counter medications. So they presumed that was the case. So I had to go back in 6 weeks for another checkup. In the middle of January, around about 5-6 weeks later, I had my second blood test to see if my liver enzymes had gone down. Unfortunately, they hadn't. They had risen, but in the doctor's words, it had only risen slightly, which again, the numbers seem a bit exaggerative, like a bit of a big distance. But going by the doctor's numbers, my second set of blood tests, where my liver enzymes were at 72, were only a slight raise. Okay, so my liver enzymes were slightly elevated a bit more. So from there, they decided they wanted to take me for an ultrasound. In this ultrasound, they were going to check my liver, my gallbladder, my kidneys, and I think my spleen. I think that was one of them. Everything was perfectly healthy. I was perfectly fine. That week of waiting for my my ultrasound results was the worst week of my life. I was so convinced I had cancer, and that's what they found, because even though the ultrasound technician aren't supposed to give any reactions, I don't know, just something in his eye made me feel a bit uneasy about what he was seeing on the scan. So that week was awful. Thankfully, I did not yet, I'm going to say yet, touch wood, I don't want to jinx myself, yet have liver cancer. It was, though, my liver has mild to severe fat on it. I feel a mild to severe amount of fat, which the doctors were very shocked about because my liver enzymes are still very low. The amount of fat on my liver you wouldn't really see with my liver enzyme levels. So the health and the use of my liver is actually a lot better than what it looks on this scan, if that makes sense. So usually with the amount of fat on my liver, they would expect to see my numbers up to around 100, 150, like beyond all that. Not as low as they were. As low as they were prepared, they were expecting to see no signs on the scan. So my liver's usage, I guess is that word, is working pretty accurate to normal. Now that could change any moment because I have so much fat on my liver, it might just escalate like that, and that's a terrifying thought. So my diagnosis was known as steatosis. That is the very, very first stage, the very early stage of NAFLD. This stage is completely reversible. I can completely cure myself, and presuming it doesn't progress onto NASH. Now, as long as my liver enzymes don't rise, They expect to see them back to normal level if I continue to lose weight in about 3 months' time, which seems so soon, yet so far away at the same time. I may be acting okay with this, but I am terrified. I'm only 22 years old, and I have been diagnosed with a very severe health condition because of my weight. Now, they think from the history of my blood test that I've had the fat on my liver since around about 2019, November time. So I know exactly what happened and how it got there in the first place. There was a big thing that happened in my life about May 2019, and and then that caused a chain reaction. I say a chain reaction, that caused another problem. So this thing that happened caused a dent in my relationship, a strain on my relationship. It caused my partner to stray from me, and it was a very horrible time for multiple different reasons. So instead of expressing myself, I lived alone. I lived alone with my partner and my son. So I didn't talk to anyone. I don't talk to anybody anyway. Like, that's not my thing. I was raised that emotions were weak. I just want to pause the video here and clarify for a second that although it sounds like it, this is in no way my parents' fault. I don't blame my parents for raising me to be emotionless or not express emotions, that's why I'm fat and that's why I'm at this problem. No way am I blaming them. This is entirely my fault. It's just come off that way. So yeah, thanks. You're not supposed to be emotional. That's just how I was raised. I also want to quickly say that the way we're raised was how we're all raised. So I don't understand how my sister ended up being so emotional. Like, she's the most emotional person I ever meet. So that's why I shut myself away. And I ate a lot. Not just normal foods. I ate takeout. I didn't touch the cooker. I didn't go to the shops. I didn't go out the house. I just ate. I would have 3 to 4 takeaways a day because that made me feel better. Until the next day, and I felt awful, but then I would go straight back to eating anyway. And then I would go days where I would starve, and I wouldn't eat anything for days at a time, and then I would binge eat some more takeout. So I know exactly what caused this problem, and I hate myself for it, because I shouldn't have put myself first. I mean, I should have put my son first. I should have thought about what this was doing to him, and what this is now going to cause to him if I don't sort myself out and I don't fix the problem. He is 3 years old. He's just turned 3. And I don't want him growing up without a mum. I could have prevented this. I really could have. I could have sorted myself out at an earlier time. And this never would have occurred. This wouldn't be in my life right now. The different stages of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease starts off at steatosis. That's what I currently have. It then moves on to NASH. I can't remember what NASH stands for, but it moves on to NASH. NASH is where the liver starts becoming inflamed. Once you hit NASH, it's not reversible anymore. You can live with NASH healthily and comfortably, presuming you continue to do the right steps, but you can never ever reverse it because you've already started to cause damage to your liver. As soon as you start the damage, that's where it's irreversible. The next step after that is fibrosis. This is where your liver starts becoming to get scar tissue. The final stage is cirrhosis. This is the most severe stage of fatty liver disease or non-alcoholic fatty liver disease that you could go through. That's where most, if not all, of your liver is completely scar tissue. There's barely any healthy liver left, and you have to then have a liver transplant, or it does end up going to liver failure. So once I got my diagnosis, I dived straight in, like you do, to research. Everything I researched, I followed up with my doctor. I constantly am on the phone with them. Okay, that's a lie. I'm not constantly. I'm not that annoying. But I will make a list of questions, I will book an appointment with them, and within that time I will go through my questions and they will go through it all with me. So I always double check my research, because you can't always believe what people have. You can't always believe what you read on the internet. So everything I do, I back up and double up with my doctor to make sure that's correct. So the first change I make, obviously, was starting to lose weight. I lowered my calorie intake to 15,000. At the same time, with my research, I decided to do as much as I can and try everything. You can't go wrong with trying. As long as it doesn't bother, the doctor says it's okay, there's nothing wrong with trying. So at the moment, I take vitamin D and omega-3. Now, I don't eat fish, which is why I take the omega-3 tablets. I take 3 of these a day. It says take up to 1 to 3 daily. So I take the max and take 3 of these, and then I take one vitamin D a day. Omega-3 is voted the best, is one of the best things for fatty liver, to reducing the fat. Obviously, you have to make lifestyle changes, or you can't just live off of the supplements. So that is also what I'm doing. So as well as losing weight, I'm doing that, and I have started to drink more water. The internet also says if you move around about 150 minutes a week, that automatically increases your chance of reducing the fat in your liver. The other thing I try is milk thistle tablets. Now, I know what it says on the box. It says it's to relieve symptoms of when you've overindulged with food and drink, but the internet says milk thistle has been not scientifically tested. It has done tests, but it's not been so overdone, like the flu jab. So it has on studies shown to help reduce the fat in the liver, along with other changes like losing weight. Along with all my research, I found a supplement called berberine. Berberine is a plant-based supplement, so my doctor said as long as it's from a seller that you trust, like Holland & Barrett, if you're from the UK. I don't know if Holland & Barrett is in other countries, but like Holland & Barrett, that it's okay to try. It's plant-based, there's no medicine in it. The reason I double-checked it with her was because I didn't know if that could damage more, and I just wanted to always make sure I double-checked everything. So berberine is a plant-based supplement. It's usually used, and what it has been tested in is for reduction in blood sugars. So it helps with people with diabetes to regularize their blood sugar patterns. However, they did do a study with NAFLD. So there was a 16-week study with 184 people with NAFLD. One group took berberine, as well as lowered their calorie intake to 1,500, and then did 150 miles, 50 minutes of exercise a day. One group took berberine, 500 mg, 3 times a day. One group took an insulin sensitizing drug, and the third group took nothing. Out of all the groups, the group taking berberine, the berberine group saw a 52% reduction of fat on their liver, and that is very, very impressive. I have done more research into this. I'm trying to find a brand that I can trust. I haven't, and we'll see. But I'll keep you guys updated with this whole process, how it goes, my blood, my doctor's appointments, scans, blood tests. So to help to reduce the fat, to completely cure yourself, that did sound like I said something else, to completely cure yourself, things that you need to take in to do is, lose weight, start eating healthily, exercise more often, and if you smoke, stop smoking. I don't smoke, I never have smoked, and don't drink alcohol. I don't drink alcohol anyway, so this is a big shock for me. I mean, I didn't even know non-alcoholic fatty liver disease was a thing, and I thought you just got liver disease from, alcohol. But yes, other associated health problems you can get from having NAFLD, it can cause diabetes, high blood pressure, liver cancer, and kidney disease. If you have diabetes already and you develop NAFLD, or you have NAFLD and you develop diabetes, that causes a higher risk of getting heart problems. Now I just want to say again, NAFLD is not done by alcohol, not at all. So that's basically I just wanted to give you guys an update of everything that's happened. I'm blooming terrified. I've looked up so many videos on YouTube, and the only ones that really are doctors telling you what can and can't. They haven't lived through it though. I wanted to find somebody who had lived through it, had done it, had cured it, was living with it permanently, you know, someone I could relate to, not just doctors telling me what I can and can't do. And I have yet to find somebody like that. I will keep looking. Maybe someone will pop up. But until then, I'm here for you guys. So if you just found out that you've got NAFLD, or you're worried about it, or you have known for a while and living with it, I'm here for you. And if you need me, you can message me. So that's all for today. I just wanted to do a quick update. There was supposed to be another video coming out, but I've made this one take its place, so that one's going to be postponed for a couple weeks. I wanted to get this one out. I wanted to give you an update. This weight loss is all about the ups and downs and everything, and you know, consequences come with being obese. Yes, I know you can be overweight and healthy, but I am not. I'm overweight and unhealthy, and that has caused consequences for me and my family. And I want to show you the struggles of trying to overcome these consequences, fix them, live with them, whatever needs to be. So, oh, do you guys like my new outfit? I'm feeling fresh. Cover up the girls, though. Okay. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time.